Hello, my friends. This is your social studies video for Wednesday, February 3rd. The title of the reading that you're going to be doing today is Committees of Correspondence. Let's make sure we understand what both of those words mean. A committee is a group of people, and they come together for a specific purpose. The word correspondence means communication. We correspond in writing, usually. Now, what was going on in all 13 of these colonies? There were many different events that were going on. In some colonies, life was going okay. In other colonies, there was violence and things that were happening. And it was difficult for, let's say, a southern colony to know what was going on in a northern colony because of the distance, because of, well, frankly, they didn't have anything like we do today with technology, and so news traveled slowly, often by someone riding horseback and carrying a message. Excuse me just a second while I tackle the lights again. So sorry this is happening. Oh, I guess I just had to stand up. That helps. So because it was not difficult to communicate easily, you couldn't pick up a telephone, you couldn't text someone with your iPhone, you couldn't get on a computer and Google what was happening, and so they had to form these committees, these groups of people who were going to figure out a way how to get news from one place to another. So they came up with the best option that they had at the time. All right, so here we go. Remember, this will be the same passage that you will be reading on your own and highlighting in order to answer the 3 questions for today's assignment. It is called the Committees of Correspondence. It was not easy for the leaders in the 13 colonies to work or communicate easily together. Distance was a constant struggle since news traveled slowly, and weeks might pass by before one colony would find out what was going on in another colony. So the colonies needed a faster way for news to travel from place to place. So a gentleman by the name of Samuel Adams, who happened to be one of the leaders in his colony, found the best solution to the problem. He set up a committee of correspondence in Boston, and after that, he persuaded other cities and towns in the colonies to do the same. The committees of correspondence wrote letters to each other. The writers of the letters told what was happening in their colonies. The letters also communicated what actions the colonies were taking to protest the British laws. Since the letters were delivered person to person, comments and responses could be added before passing the letters on. So actually it was like a very long continuous letter until it got to the end of the line. This allowed the colonists to plan and organize their ideas, their protests, and anything else that they wanted to do together. Now remember, it was against the law for anyone to complain or criticize the British government, even if the complaints were true. Each time the committees talked about protesting or criticizing King George III or anything going on in Parliament, they were breaking the law. Breaking the law is never a good idea. But remember, the purpose in what's beginning to happen in the colonies is they want independence from England, from Great Britain. So they were willing to take a chance at breaking the law in order to break those ties with Britain. The letters were delivered by riders on horseback, as this was the quickest way to deliver communication between the colonies. Here are your questions. What were the committees of correspondence? What was their job? What did they get together to do? That's what you're looking for. Number 2, who, meaning the specific person, who was being given credit for setting up the committees of correspondence? And number 3, how did the committees of correspondence help bring the colonies together? What was the result of what they did when they formed these committees? What happened as a result of that? Think about how and what they were able to communicate. All right, so things are continuing to progress. The colonists are getting angrier. They're taking action. They're risking their own lives by breaking British laws. But they believe they're doing so for a good purpose. Keep reading, keep learning, and we'll see how this war develops. I will talk to you soon.